You're locked in to the hottest station on the planet.
Resistance is future. The revolution has begun.
You're listening to Rebelprenuer Radio, helping you break the rules and build the business you need for the life you want. And now, broadcasting his pirate signal
From somewhere beyond the status quo.
here's your host, best-selling author, marketing and media strategist, Ralph Brogden.
Hello and welcome to Rebelprenuer Radio. It's the show that helps you build the business you need so you can live the life you want. I'm Ralph Brogden. Well, if you are a woman entrepreneur, you are not alone. There are many women entrepreneurs in the world who I would consider rebelpreneurs, and many other women who are really gifted and skilled and have the potential to do great things in their business. But today's guest says that most women undervalue themselves, and so we're going to talk about how to turn that around. I'm speaking with Angela M. Odom. She is a leadership developer with extensive high-stress, international, and graduate-level academic experience. Created the S.O.A.R success system, that's S.O.A.R, for emerging women leaders. Her mission is to help 1 million women soar by 2025. And so it's a real pleasure to welcome you, Angela Odom, to Rebelprenuer Radio.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
You have accomplished quite a bit, and now your mission in life is to help other women not to undervalue themselves, but value themselves properly and really step into that leadership role, whatever that may be for each person, to fulfill their potential. So I'm interested, how did you get started in this? And tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, for me, I served in the greatest army on the planet for 27 years, and I was allowed really to serve in various leadership positions. I deployed on 3 separate combat environments, one in Desert Storm, and then I went to Qatar, and I ended up being a battalion commander in Iraq. And that right there sealed the deal for me. I recognized at that point that with all of the qualifications and experience, I noticed that some of my female leaders still needed just a little bit more nudge, a little push. And so that was really the seed was planted there. I retired in 2015 as in the rank of colonel. And when I retired, I started my personal development training company. The next year in 2016, I wrote my memoir, Bronco Strong, and it is really focused on that third deployment in Iraq. I wanted to make sure we acknowledged, the significant contributions of all those soldiers that I was fortunate enough to serve with. And then in 2017, I completed a 6-month personal development certification, life coaching certification program. And so now, for me, what I do is I teach, coach, mentor women on how to progress in their careers and in their social environments. I just want them to thrive. I want all of us to win. And so that's how I got here. And for me, the S.O.A.R success system is simply a framework to help women achieve that which they desire. Sometimes it might be a kick in the butt, and sometimes it might just be a quick little nudge. It depends on what she needs, not so much, what I want for her.
Very good. Well, you are definitely qualified, and I can't think of a better proving ground than the United States Army in a forward position in a hostile territory to really test your leadership skills, your personal development skills, and every other kind of skill that there is. In your experience, and you alluded to this in your story, and thank you for your service, by the way. I hats off to you and to all of those who are serving and have served. You say that most women undervalue themselves. I want to explore that. Why do you think it is that women undervalue themselves?
Well, I don't know if there's one reason. One of the things I've noticed is that, we women, including myself, we are serving others in all different capacities. whether it's inside of our homes, we're serving our kids and our husbands. We're serving. We will go the extra mile to make sure, you have what you need. If it is whatever your goals might be, then I've noticed that most women will put their goals and their needs to the side. Whereas, men, in my own experience, I noticed that they just assume, hey, I'm supposed to do this. I'm meant to do this. And if you have two people, man and woman, side by side, with the same qualifications, experience, everything is going their way, I noticed that the woman will need, in my experience, she might just need a little bit more of a nudge. The man, he might not have, any additional skill set, but in his mind, he believes that he will figure it out for the most part. And so, I'm not saying this is every woman, but I'm saying in my own experience, this is what I have noticed. And so I see a need to just help women become more aware. It's as simple as becoming more aware that I really don't need anyone's permission to succeed. And so that's where I stand. I don't know why. I just know that within society, this society anyway, that has been my own experience. And of course, serving for 27 years in the Army, male-dominated environment. I would just tell you I've seen my fair share of men and women leaders, everybody doing, the best they can. And still, I just know that I've seen that difference.
And I think that's absolutely correct. And again, what better place to see this than in the male-dominated institution of the military. Greatest army in the world, but it's dominated by men. And so there's a certain social categorization that goes on, and that extends, I think, to other parts of society. And we pick up on these things where women are more about serving and supporting others. Men are more about let's go get it done, goal-oriented, and so that can create some issues later on down the road when women want to try and create something in their own lives, when they want to progress in their career, when they want to achieve their goals. And then it seems like they lack the confidence that men seem to naturally have, but I guess it's a product of the environment, and that's kind of the role and the gender expectations that are playing out. Your system is designed to bridge that gap and bring women to the place that they need to be, psychologically, socially, and successfully.
Oh, definitely. And what I realized is after I retired and I started to work with more community service organizations, volunteering and taking on, different roles in those organizations, I noticed it was similar. And I was like, wait, I thought it was just in the Army. No, it is. So that was an eye opener for me, realizing that, leadership skills, personal development skills, mindset skills are just needed across the board.
Yeah. Usually when I have a guest come on and we're talking about who they work with, and if they predominantly or exclusively work with women, I'll usually joke with them and say, oh, that's a shame, because I know a lot of men that could use your help. But I like the fact that you're actually focused on women because of this very specific need that they have in their life that needs being met in men. It's not being met in women. Your goal is to actually help 1 million women by 2025. Is that achievable? Is that one of those big, hairy, audacious goals? What's your plan for being able to reach 1 million people or 1 million women by 2025?
So this is what I realized in this year, in 2019. I realized that relationships matter, and so for me to be able to help 1 woman or 1 million women, I need to develop, more corporate partners, more relationships with larger organizations. And so when you say a big, hairy goal, audacious, yes, it's all of that. Mm-hmm. And yes, it will be done.
And I believe you. I believe everything you say when you say it will be done one way or the other. So let's talk about the obstacle. Because if this was easy, everybody would be doing it and we wouldn't have a problem. I think we've identified, and and like you said, and it's a good point, that there's probably not a single reason why this is. It's a combination of a lot of things, of how we are raised, societal expectations. But the common issue here is that women need that extra support to help them soar. And we're going to get to your framework, but when you're working with women to try and get them to where they want to be, what would you say is the biggest hindrance? What is the biggest problem you run into with the women that you're trying to help?
Saying yes to everything. So one of the principles encourage women to take on, to embrace, is to respond with a full body yes or either a complete no. That's when someone is requesting their time, their energy, and their resources. And so when you respond with a full body yes, from the top of your head all the way to the bottom of your feet, you feel that, yes, I want to help you. I want to provide my time, my attention, my resources. I want to stop what I'm doing right now and help you. And yes, I'm not going to be resentful. I'm not going to be tired. I'm not going to complain about it. I want to do this. That's a full body yes.
Yeah, as opposed to being, okay, because you feel like it's expected of you, but you begrudge it the whole time and you make the other person feel miserable, either directly or indirectly. Your approach is you're either all in 100% or you're all out 100%.
Or either you are able to respond with a complete no, mm-hmm. and you respond in kindness when you're doing it. You're not, you're not being nasty or rude. You're simply saying no, or you're saying I'm already committed. And to be already committed, you have to already have your goals and know what it is you actually want. People mm-hmm. can tell you all day long what they don't want, what's wrong, or, what's in their way, or who's doing something. I'm a victim today, whatever that is. But when you're able to respond with a complete no, then that usually means that you already have things lined up. You already have aspirations and you know what they are and you know why you want them. Mm. The impact that you are going to provide and who you're going to serve. However, when we're saying, well, okay, sure, maybe, I think I can, then that energy just boomerangs right back to you and you are still, either stuck or you're being taken advantage of, or you are somewhere whining and complaining about being a victim when you don't have to. So I believe the most common problem that I see is that we say yes to any and everything when we don't need to.
Hmm. And so by not having a clear purpose and clear goals that we are pursuing, women in particular end up supporting everyone else's goals and everyone else's future, and not really because they're not working towards their own outcomes. They tend not to be able to say no to someone else's agenda. Am I saying that correctly?
You are all over it. This looks like you've been here before, right?
What's going a little on? Bit of it. Yeah. Well, and like you, I've seen this happen as well, and I'm just trying to wrap my head and my heart around this problem. I've got a wife and 2 daughters, so I do have some experience with what we're talking about, and I also have an interest in the solution. How can we move past societal expectations and gender assumptions and roles and really begin to fulfill who we are as people, male and female.
Yes.
So that brings us to your framework, which is the S.O.A.R success system, and that's S.O.A.R as in soaring and flying high.
Yeah.
Walk us through that process. Walk us through that success system and give us your methodology for helping women to succeed.
Well, the first thing is we come to the understanding that women succeeding or an individual succeeding does not mean that someone else has to fail. We come to that understanding, whether that is a man or a woman, whomever it is. It's not about the other person not winning. We want everyone to win. That is the first understanding that we come to. And then we talk leadership, whether it is the person's approach, as in their leadership style. And we talk about the skills that are needed for them to progress. Most likely the skills are, communication, presentations, it is conflict resolution, delegation, trustworthiness. Most likely those are the skills that we all need to master. And then, of course, there are others. So we start there by talking leadership, where they are, doing an assessment. And then we move to, okay, so what do you want? Not what you don't want. What do you want? And that's when we look at a strategy for S. And it is not what you want, it's how we're going to get there. What steps are you going to take? That's the strategy. And then we look at organize, that's O. And so we look at, well, what types of things can we organize? And most likely it is organizing our week, organizing our morning and our evening routines, our finances, pertinent documents, key metrics, because if you don't know when you actually reach the goal or when you achieve success, if you're not setting any metrics in, you're still just running around. And then, of course, the other one is organizing resources. And then, looking at A, accountability. Most of the time, accountability, we're really talking about accepting responsibility, and the things that we can put in place for accountability is, you can tell a friend. I don't know about you, but I got friends that say, you told me you were not eating carbs.
Yeah.
You can tell a friend, you can join an accountability group, use technology. I got this fancy phone and I can set up all types of notifications, and it helps me greatly. You can hire a coach, and oh, by the way, my favorite is to write it down. And then we look at relationships. I hear people talk about, especially inside of their work environments. Well, I wasn't invited to their meeting. Well, guess what? We want to focus on the relationships that actually matter when we're talking about the R. And those relationships are your parents, a partner. That could be a work partner or, your own personal partner, friends. And we all have work friends. We got friends that we only go to, might go to church with. We have our church friends, our work friends. We have our girlfriends. We have our friends that we take on trips. So our friends, our mentors, and then the most important relationship is the relationship with yourself. And so that's what we do. We walk through the S.O.A.R success system, looking at the approach we're going to take. No matter how long it takes, sometimes it might be, something very small that we can, adjust. And then sometimes it is small steps to a really big goal that a woman or a leader wants to achieve.
I love that success system. The S.O.A.R success system, the strategy, organize, accountability. And I really love what you said about accountability. It sounds really fancy, but really it comes down to accepting responsibility, allowing other people to hold you responsible for your behavior and for your thoughts and for your words. And I really love that. That brings accountability down to a level that anybody can understand. And it's accepting responsibility, not making excuses, but accepting responsibility. And then relationships, and that's the key that makes everything work in this interconnected world that we live in. So, Angela, as you travel about and as you with your books and with your speaking and the other programs and things that you have going on, how describe for us how you work with people in a way that really improves their chances for success compared to doing it the way they've been doing it.
Well, for me, I actually just meet the person where they are, and we, go whether it is one-on-one coaching, whether it is a group session itself, or a meetup, or one of the online programs that I have. We start with what they want, and I've been to all types of training, and sometimes the training is based on what someone may have read in a book. So the difference is that I've actually lived it, and I have proven experience with working with men and women in situations that might be calm and, of course, situations that are very stressful. So for me, I know it works because I've seen it work.
Yeah. And as they say, this is not just theory or philosophy or a lot of nice sounding words. This is what they call battle tested, literally. In the heat of battle, this has been tested out in the field in the most challenging conditions you can imagine. So if it works there, in that place, in those circumstances, how much more powerful will it be working in our lives, in our families, in our businesses, in our personal relationships? You have a lot of materials on your website, speaking, coaching, books, courses, lots of resources and trainings that people can dig into. What are you working on right now, Angela, that's got you particularly excited and maybe something you'd like to share with our listeners?
Well, I'm very excited about the leadership makeover. It is a 6-week group coaching program, and again, we just start with the initial conversation of what the woman wants, and we go through first of all just to get her mind right to lead, and we move into getting the strategy on track, of course, getting organized, then accountability. And each week we move to, a different topic, and we end with a plan. And this is a leadership action plan for the leader herself to be confident as she progresses in her career. When she walk in, to work, and she's worried about, well, I don't know why they're not listening to me. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with this meeting, why I am not able to advance my own ideas. And so that might be what we do, but we're looking at a leadership makeover. I'm very excited about this program itself. It's a step-by-step, with training modules and the weekly group coaching via Zoom. And they get homework assignments. It's not anything that's overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And with templates and checklists and also resources. And so that's what I'm working on right now, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm looking forward to helping get my number count up of all the women that I'm going to help in the next this next year coming up.
I really believe, Angela, that you're going to fulfill this mission, and you're going to reach 1 million women and help them to soar by 2025. I think that what you're doing is so tremendous and will be so helpful. What is the best way for people, our listeners, to reach out to you and to connect with you and with your S.O.A.R success system and the other types of trainings that you have?
Well, I'm on all the social media platforms, and they can definitely just make it easy. My name is Angela Odom, and that's Odom. They just go directly to AngelaOdom.com, and they can definitely, keep up with what I'm doing. And, oh, by the way, reach out to me on the contact tab, and I'll gladly have a conversation. and see how we can work together.
Sounds wonderful. And I hope that our listeners will take advantage of that. It's AngelaOdom.com. We'll have that link on the Rebelpreneur website as well. This has really been inspiring, Angela, and I appreciate so much you sharing your time and your wisdom with us for helping women all over the world to succeed with the S.O.A.R success system. Any final thoughts or words of wisdom that you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I want us all to win. It's as simple as that. I want us all to win. I'm Angela Odom, and I'm rooting for you.
Wonderful. Love it. And it's win-win. It's not, in order for me to win, someone else has to lose. No, in order for everyone to win, you have to win as well. So check that out, AngelaOdom.com. Angela Odom is a leadership developer, international and graduate level academic experience who created the S.O.A.R success system for emerging women leaders. Her mission is to help 1 million women soar by 2025. She's author of the book Bronco Strong, a memoir of the last deployed personnel services battalion. You can find out more at AngelaOdom.com. Angela, thank you so much for being on the show today, and thank you for your service. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You've been listening to Rebelpreneur Radio with Ralph Brogden. Download the show notes and much more at rebelpreneur.com.